Hi, welcome back to another day of regular Americans bitching about the ridiculousness, which is the 45th President of the United States of America. It's been nagging at me for a couple days now, and I finally just have to let it loose. Personally, I watched the Q&A session of the conference that Trump had with Trudeau, and when asked about the Canadian border security, our half of the conference, me being an American, rambles on about the abuses with problems and all these people will be kicked out. And he goes on to reiterate this illusion about his large electoral college win. Like he had to convince the media who was there and who covered it throughout that they weren't quite aware of his version of the story yet, which, yeah, whatever. So, two things that set me off, besides the blatant dodge of not answering that question sufficiently, in my opinion, as presidential as you would like, is yeah, why the hell is he trying to convince the media that he had a huge, huge electoral win when we saw the results and there's a system that calculates the results, again, math, science, facts. And it was the 46th largest win in American history. Now, since I know he and maybe some of his supporters aren't exactly mathematically inclined, so I am a single person, this is 10. A crowd of 250,000 is not a million. So I have pennies here. See? This is 46 pennies. This is Trump. He's the last, I can't get this in, of the 46. This is how many people beat him. This is Trump. This is how many people he beat. Yes. See? That's how many he actually beat in the Electoral College extravaganza. So now, since the graphs haven't worked and numbers didn't work, I was hoping that might give a better differential to it. Okay, so the second thing and the ongoing battle of me with this whole, I know we're only 3 weeks in, term president, his problem with words and sentences. So I also have some cue cards. Sentences must have a subject. For instance, I, or you can talk about yourself, which I guess is pretty much what you do all the time. And then you have a verb. So subject, verb. I'm talking right now. I'm talking to a screen. And I'm not talking to anyone in particular because no one's probably going to watch this. But in the end, the goal of a sentence with a subject and a verb, and then of course there's more difficult concepts that go with it, but I want to keep it simple, is you must express a complete thought. Okay, so, which is what I'm trying to do with these videos. So subject, verb, and obviously there's determiners, there's prepositions, there's direct objects, indirect objects, but we'll start with at least he can get those down. So when he said he was going to get all the hardened criminals, and in some cases, the stutter, which with a tremendous track record of abuse and problems, we're going to get them out. If you took his quote as he's basically saying it, is that these people with a tremendous track record of being abused. So it's the way he said it, it sounds like we're going to kick out a bunch of people who have been abused, like physically or mentally. and people with big problems, social problems, family problems. What is he trying to say? Now, I think I know what he's trying to say because there's not anything that deep to it, but this is a way to say it. I want to think that he meant that he wanted to extradite those in the United States that have been abusing the loopholes and have been participating in criminal behavior. It's that simple. It is that simple. So, if Jared or Ivanka could possibly assist with helping him out with his big boy words, I can guarantee that our impression across the globe will increase in a positive manner. And so those were the two major things that were bothering me. On a more recent note, though, since I'm filming this after Michael Flynn has resigned, I have been watching some of the news, and some of these slithering Republicans with no backbones and absolutely no moral compass. Let me tell you, you are digging yourself your own political grave. The word of the Trump fiasco is going to be hypocrisy. Definitely. This whole thing is going to be, the word is going to be hypocrisy. The blatant hypocrisy of the weak-kneed officials that don't take the chance to stand up and admit when a wrong has occurred. I mean, the president sat on this information of Flynn's questionable actions regarding Russia for 3 weeks. The betrayal is not the leak. Enough with this nonsense. The problem is the president is showing that he was not going to deal with it until he had to. He did not see it as a security threat to our nation. He did not see it as a betrayal to the Constitution. He did nothing regarding the perpetrator. He did, however, approve a disgustingly compiled letter regarding Yates when she questioned the competency of the travel ban, and that was distributed to the public. You want proof that more happened, or you don't know specifically what he was talking about with the sanctions. Just accept the fact he was in the wrong. The president didn't do anything about it. Something had to be done, and the media basically led to this. It wasn't the intelligence community's fault. Nobody in the intelligence community is getting political about how they feel regarding the president. They are doing their job. They signed up to do this job before he was even a candidate, before Obama was a candidate, some of them before Bush was a candidate. I mean, these people, men and women of all religions, of all sexual identities, have basically submitted their life to protecting this country. And this ridiculousness that the intelligence community is becoming a politicized bubble that is now working to undermine the presidency, you need to step back. You need to step way back. And just accept the fact that a wrong was done here. It was handled. Investigations will probably continue. And if they don't continue, that's another real problem. But don't start throwing ghost blame at unnecessary victims. You know, and for all you that want proof and in the same sentence invoke heresy as an argument, I hope a woman comes from your job, because she can do it a hell of a lot better than you, and she's probably going to look better doing it. So in my final thought, all this has basically summed up the topic of dignity. Really, it's what I'm focusing on, what I feel has been lacking in the administration thus far. So for the last 8 years, we have had a man that sat in the White House that exemplified class, dignity, intelligence, and diplomacy. Black and colored kids all over the U.S., even I would say internationally, You could even throw in some international. Grew up knowing that this was a truth and no longer a hope. They know if they work hard, if they study, if they show respect, perseverance, and that one day they too can conduct business from the Oval Office. So you, in this brief span of a year, fake 45, have shown America's youth that a pompous windbag who reads at a 6th grade level with no ethical values and a charm bracelet of wives and kids can con his way into the most respectable positions the United States has to offer. I can only hope that Americans adopt the idiom of you do not realize what you have until it's gone, and you do everything to make sure that this never happens again, that we do everything to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Thanks.